Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes to talk about movies. You probably love them as much as I do, which is why you're here. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision you can as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a particular film. So today, the movie I'm reviewing is called The Marsh King's Daughter. This mystery thriller is now available to stream online. It's rated R and is an hour and 49 minutes long. My overall movie review mom grade is somewhere around a B minus. So let me explain. First, I'll give you an overview in a nutshell. Then I'll point out things I liked, things I did not like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, if there are any interesting lines, and finally, recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also be interested in watching. All right, so you ready to dive in? Me too. So the story is about a woman who seeks revenge against the man who kidnapped her mother back when she was a young child. The movie is directed by Neil Berger and written by L. Smith, Mark L. Smith, and Karen Dion, based on the book by Karen Dion. So here's a list of things that I really liked about this movie. First of all, it's great to see Daisy Ridley outside of a Star Wars movie. Am I right? She's got the acting chops and fierce physicality for this kind of movie. So I hope to see her in more films, especially like this one soon. I didn't even recognize Ben Mendelsohn with all of that facial hair. He is consistently fantastic in everything that he does. He and Daisy Ridley both starred in Star Wars movies. They're the reason why you want to watch this film. We get to learn some tips about surviving in the wilderness and even hunting animals in this movie. If you are an animal lover, beware. There's some beautiful cinematography, especially as they're out in the wilderness. Now, I've never read the book that the movie is based on, so I can't tell you how they compare, but I have heard that the movie is actually better if you have not read the book and don't know the mystery in the story. That's probably a true statement for almost any movie that's based on a book, right? Because then you have no expectations. The color palette looks filtered, which was a wise choice to visually illustrate how past memories don't always embrace reality. Now, that's not a spoiler. I'm just saying time passes. The beginning of the movie, you see the girl with her father and they're having adventures and whatnot. And then years passed, and now this young girl is a mother herself. And so she's trying to remember what happened and was she remembering it correctly, that kind of thing. Anyway, here's a list of some of the things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better or differently. For example, like the lake in the wilderness, the movie is very slow moving. The pace and tone changed dramatically from Act One to Act Three, meaning Act One and Act Two are very slow. And then in Act Three, stuff starts happening pretty quickly, too. Some scenes could have definitely been cut to tighten up the telling of the story. The wilderness story feels like a completely different movie from the home invasion story. Now, the ending is a bit clunky, which left me with feelings of uncertainty about the entire movie's experience and what it was really trying to say. If you've seen this movie, comment down below. I would love for you to share your experience and what your thoughts are. First, let me give you some tips for parents. I think kids are going to be very bored, and honestly, so will some adults. There is bloody violence with a gun and other weapons on animals and on humans. We see a woman in her underwear, and two of the characters have lots of tattoos. We watch a man poke a needle in a girl's arm to give her kind of a homemade tattoo, also. Some of the themes that are illustrated are trust, family, generational trauma. That's a big one in this movie. Wilderness survival, PTSD, secrets, and father-daughter relationships. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write down the funny lines, the interesting lines, simply so I can share them with you so you can get a taste for the dialogue and the script writing quality. And so you can see them all on my website, moviereviewmom.com, but I'll share some of them with you right now. So at the very beginning of the movie, we see the dad, who's played by Ben Mendelsohn, and he's trying to teach his daughter to be tough and have grit and have all of these wilderness survival skills. And so she gets hurt, and he says, "You're fine. It's just a flesh wound." And I think anybody who hears that expression always thinks of Monty Python. Am I right? It's just a flesh wound. So that's why I put that under the category of funny lines. It's not really meant as funny, but it made me laugh. And then I'll share some interesting lines with you. So Ben Mendelsohn's character again says, "There's nothing more pure than the instinct to survive." And that's a really interesting line based on what happens in this movie. And then at another time, Ben Mendelsohn's character also says, "You must always protect your family." And that also takes on new meaning as you watch the movie and things unfold. Now, while I watched this movie, some movies instantly came into my mind that were sort of similar that I want to recommend to you. The first is called Where the Crawdads Sing. Now, it's also based on by a lake, and it also has that filtered effect, and some things happen. That's such a vague statement. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but I think if you like this one, you might like that one. If you like that one, you might like this one. And then another movie I thought of is called Leave No Trace. It's also a survival movie of sorts where we have a father and a daughter living in the wilderness, and he is a veteran and he just doesn't want to live in society. And he's got a daughter, and so he's teaching her all of these skills. But every now and then they'll go into town and get whatever help that they can, mostly money that is due him for being a vet, unemployed and that kind of thing, and some medical benefits. But she, as she starts to grow up, starts to realize, wait a second, this isn't how normal people live. And so they've both got to work through that. Anyway, I thought it was a really well done movie and fantastic acting as well. All right, that's it. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. And when you get another minute, run over to Facebook and you can join our Facebook group called, guess what? Movie Review Mom, where we share reviews and talk about movies and play games and silly things like that. So thanks again so much. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.